we all know what's happening. Leeds are on a magnificent run. So I don't want us to sit here for 5 minutes and, just talk about how Leeds have won a lot of games. What I want to know, Sam, is how they've done it and why this run is occurring at this particular point in the season. And then we'll save a little bit about what might happen next, because that might be featuring later in the show. But why is this happening now, this 8-game winning streak?
I think there's a whole host of ingredients. I think the getting to grips with the division probably is a fair point. I think the improvement in a number of the players, the units, the partnerships. The one problem area that I spoke of probably early part of the season in comparison to the other top sides, I didn't see Leeds' fullbacks maybe being good enough to carry them all the way.
Can I jump in there, Sam? January the 1st, first game of the run, Junior Firpo comes back. I know he was much maligned by Leeds, but a left back in the left back position, still doing it with Archie Gray at right back though. And in that defensive line as well, you've mentioned it a few times. Ampadu stepped back in the FA Cup on the 7th of January, Cruyff into central midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I think those points are all kind of in that kind of first few sentences that I went with. They're the specifics, aren't they, in terms of the changes in personnel, the growth in the performances of Cruyff. Rodon would be another one. But absolutely, those fullback positions were the ones I was a bit concerned about early part of the season when you think of Ayling, Byram, Shackleton. Of course, Gray's played a lot of football there. Maybe hasn't got... Sorry?
Spence played a couple of games, didn't he, as well?
And maybe Gray hasn't got the numbers that jump off the page, but I think invariably you're not going to have both your fullbacks joining in. What I think Gray does really well is that he's an excellent passer of the ball, incredibly clever. He can probably step into the midfield a little bit and keep possession and probe and pick the right pass forward. Nice relationship in the last few games with Nonto. What I'm trying to get onto is that Firpo is going to be more attack-minded and raiding down the flank, down the left-hand side, and 4 assists in 8 games. I think that has added a strand, maybe that 4 assists, I think. I don't know if it's going to be 8 games, sorry, but yeah, 4 assists in. I think he's only made 8 starts and 5 subs, so 13 appearances. So I think that has made a difference. And we've spoken here for 4 or 5 minutes without, I think I just mentioned Nonto's name, but we haven't mentioned the front players. And I think coming into the season, we were really excited, and that's certainly come to the fore in the last few weeks. And it's worth mentioning him again, Nonto, who obviously had his high-profile problems early part of the season, but now he's knuckled down. He's playing ever so well, and I enjoyed his relationship with Gray in that game against Swansea. And they got great options, and they got the opportunity to rotate. And despite Bamford, I think was he 100% off the bat when he started games this season since coming into the side. Not a disaster, him limping out in the warm-up or whatever it was at Swansea, because Piru is such an able deputy. So don't ask me how it's going to end, how it's going to go. It's worth flagging. I don't know if you said it, but they face no one in the top 6, have they, in this run? So you could say you would expect them to pretty much take care of business, but not in this fashion. You'd have expected a few points to be dropped. So yeah, they're going brilliantly, and it's difficult to predict exactly how it's going to go. But Southampton have got those trickier away games. I think 3 out the top 6 they got to face, I think, away from home. It's difficult to envisage it maybe not going down to the last couple. I won't build it up so much.
Build up round 46, please. Do it.
No, I'm not gonna do it, but yeah, I think it's going to probably go to the last 2 or 3.
Amazing. Can I just come in on the fixtures? And you did point this out a while ago, a couple of months back, if you listen back to old episodes, about the front loading of the hard away games for Leeds this season. So, yeah, don't get cross with us, Leeds fans, when we say it is a bit of a soft run, because you kind of earned it. And you're right, the team's faced in the streak. Well, let me talk more about the teams they'd already faced. Before this streak started, they'd already gone away to Leicester, Southampton, Ipswich, West Brom, Norwich, Hull, Preston, and Sunderland, which meant that at pretty much the halfway point in the season, or one game after, they only had Coventry away remaining out of this current top 10. Now, obviously, it wasn't the top 10 then. So maybe they're kind of accruing a little bonus for getting a lot of hard games out of the way early in the season.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, the next couple of away games are Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday. So, you're going to, probably the two clubs in the division who want to beat you more than anyone else. Do you know what I mean? They're massive games, aren't they, in the calendar for both those clubs? Given the predicament that they're in, I don't think it alters anything. They'd love to derail Leeds, and they desperately need the points, those two clubs. So, I mean, I don't know how to word this, but I mean, it's a big month for the Leeds fans as well. When you think there's Stoke in there as well, and Millwall in there, there's some high intensity atmospheres that the Leeds players are going to have to deal with over the next 4. I've named them all. I mean, it doesn't get bigger maybe for the supporters than some of those clubs they've got to face. So it'd be about the players keeping their composure and can continue what they're doing. Oh, and Chelsea in the cup. I mean, it's like the full set, isn't it? Basically, Chelsea in the cup. I just noted down, is that a distraction? Well, I think Southampton go to Anfield, don't they? So
wow.
We'll see which one goes to the replay, and then maybe we can add that into the mix the next time we're discussing those two jostling up the top.
You said you were going to refuse to answer, so feel free to refuse. But Leicester, 9-game winning streak earlier in the season. Only 7 times someone has done more than the 8-game streak they've done. Charlton, 12 in a row in 1999. I remember it well. Alan Curbishley, Andy Hunt up front, banging in the goals. Where are you landing between equaling Leicester's 9 and Charlton's 12? And any comment on that, Sam?
I don't think they'll do 12. I think they'll maybe. I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? I think they'll maybe drop 2 points either Huddersfield or Wednesday. I'm not going to give you any more than that.
There you go.
I'd probably say more likely Huddersfield with a new manager, maybe.
And we're deliberately ignoring a Friday night shaped elephant in the room for those of you yelling at your computer screen or your phone right now, which we may be or may not be speaking about later in the show.
Shows you how tired I am, does it? Because I did know we were speaking about that, but I did forget it was this Friday. There you go. Cards on the table.
But fair play. 8 wins in a row in any division for any team is bloody sensational, isn't it?